Everybody. Normally, I don't have a lot to say, but I do today. Today, I will be doing an exercise regarding planes of the face. Um, I'm going to look on my tablet to find drawing planes, drawing planes of the face. And because I got a comment from a hater that I should give up art, I'll do a very basic beginner exercise. Now, this person who said I should give up art, he obviously thinks I shouldn't even bother doing the beginner sketches. But I'm going to do it anyway because that's just the kind of person I am. Okay, so we're going to do a basic beginner planes of the face. This should be super simple. All right, let's get started. Okay. Now, this person is correct. I am bad at art. But I'm doing it because I enjoy it. And that's what this person doesn't seem to get. And why am I putting it on YouTube? Oh, why not? I mean, I would watch people clip their nails on YouTube because YouTube is, it's just fun. And I mean, I have watched people vacuum, and I don't really care if the person I'm watching is good at vacuuming. So therefore, if people are like me, and they mostly are because I'm pretty average, I have average artistic talent, which is what he forgot to mention. I actually have average artistic talent. I checked with Grok about this, and my thought was accurate because an average artist on here, I asked him how much views should an average artist get, and he told me the exact number I get, so, which means I am an average artist at the very worst. So, and even frankly, even if I was a bad artist, I still have permission. Like, there is no law that I know of that says only good artists can draw. In a communist Russia, there would be a law like that. Believe it or not, there really would be a law that says if you're not good at art, you're not allowed to post it on YouTube. That's communist. This person kind of has that same communist attitude that people should only do things if they're quote unquote good at it. Never mind the fact that in art, being good is subjective. Especially if you look at some of the art that isn't realistic and people like it and there's really no explanation. There may be some explanation in terms of form or something, but the reality is people are going to have different opinions about it. Some people are going to like it, some people won't. So it's just nonsense. And then, so it is subjective. Art is very subjective. Realistic art is not even that popular, I don't think. I think people are tired of realism. I think enough people can do this that it's not really that impressive anymore, if a person can do a drawing. And the YouTube has made it more, I'm more aware of just how many people can do this, and so there's a certain point of view where it's like, it's not even about whether the art is quality or not, because there's people who would look for bad art. For example, that person who just told me that I don't have a right to draw, basically that's what he told me. Well, he obviously goes on the internet looking for bad art and making comments about it. So therefore, there is a place for me. Because if I didn't draw, then he wouldn't have any bad art to criticize and make himself feel. I don't know what he feels if he does that. So now here's the bottom line though. I'm not an artist. I'm just doing this as a hobby. And I don't understand, do people not get that? Like, are people so obsessed with their egos that they cannot comprehend somebody who just does it as a hobby? Is there, and also, by the way, this, I had a painting stolen, so I know, objectively speaking, it's not even true that I'm a bad artist. That's the bizarre thing. I know, objectively speaking. Now, does that mean it doesn't get to me? Listen, it's normal for criticism to get to a person even if they have confidence. So I'm not even going to go there. Now, let's bring it back to chess, because chess is really my career. And I am an average chess player. I literally have a rating that is 100 points above the average. So I am literally an average chess player. But at one point I was higher. I was an 1890 at one point. And so I have been higher, and my floor is 1600. But here's the kicker. I am number 13 in the country for women over the age of 50. And for women over the age of 60, I think it's even higher. It's even higher. So what they're really saying, if they say I'm a bad chess player, is women shouldn't play chess. And in these days, I might actually agree with them, because I am so tired of feminism that I'm okay with the idea that women shouldn't play chess, and I'm sick of women. But at the same time, you know, if you really look at it, it's quite sexist what they're saying. Okay, so I have gotten all that out of my system and ventilated, and I'm basically done with the first part of this sketch, the planes of the face. Now, I'm going to put in tones now, because there's just very little else to do, so I'm going to start with the tones. Okay. Yeah, you know, I thought I was a bad artist till I had a painting stolen and turned into a stamp in Chad. And now anybody insults my art, it has no effect. I mean, it might hurt my feelings a little bit, but all I have to do is think about it for 10 minutes and realize the person is just out there trolling and really has nothing important to say. Because if I was really such a bad artist, I would not have had a painting stolen. Now let's see, this could be perhaps be in shadow right here. Okay, and this, perhaps a highlight. Okay, this part would be a little bit shaded right here. Let's put that shade in. And this part shaded, and this part. And I don't have this type of like memorized understanding of the human body the way I do the face, because I haven't been doing it as long. Someday I hope that I will have this level of knowledge on the whole body, not just the face. Okay, now this is really where the dark lines come in, is right here. I like to do these beginner basic sketches. I really enjoy them. I didn't think I would, and it does require just a little bit of humility to do them. Because, you know, if I think I'm all that, then I would think, well, I don't need to do any beginner sketches. But no, I'm not all that. I'm aware that when I got my painting stolen, it just meant I wasn't a terrible artist. And so you can't make me feel bad about my art now. That's the one good thing about having a painting stolen and turned into a stamp in Chad. You cannot make me feel bad about myself as an artist. I know I'm decent, and sometimes I can really knock one out of the ballpark, okay? Now, but there is a question. How valuable really is realistic art? I mean, there was a time when there was no such thing as a camera. And in those days, certainly you would need somebody who could draw. But nowadays, what is realistic art? What value does it have to contribute, you know? And the more realistic it looks, in my opinion, kind of the less value it has. Because I think it still has value if it's sort of weird in some way, you know, like if it conjures up some sort of emotion, you know. But if it's super realistic, the only real thing you can feel is, wow, that looks super real. That must be hard. That's about all you can really get out of it. So an artist can't just do realistic art anymore, I don't think. I mean, you tell me, you tell me what your opinion is on that. Can an artist, uh, I suppose if they're real, I still feel even if their stuff is really good, they need to do more than just realism, because cameras already replaced us a long, long time ago, you know, and it's okay. And you know what? AI is going to replace us even more. And that's okay too. Because, you know, there was a time when being a horse and buggy driver was a legit source of income. Now it's just kind of a boutique thing you do, you know. If you're going to give people carriage rides, you're going to be working someplace like downtown Denver. You know, you're going to be giving people a special, nice experience. But there's only going to be a few people who are going to work as a horse and buggy driver once the automobile comes into play, right? So I think it's kind of similar for art. You have to explain why you're doing this at this point, because, you know, we've been replaced, and what did we ever do anyway? I mean, police sketching. That is totally going to be an AI thing now. I think I can't imagine a human competing with an AI for police sketches. And so, anyway, my whole way that I got into art in the first place years and years ago was as a kid, I'm talking, you know, a little kid, maybe 7, 8. I used to, whenever I saw anybody did art, I was so amazed by what they did but I would sign it. I would say, hey, you're so good at art. Can you just draw something this for me? And then when they would draw it, I would then say thank you. And then after they would leave the house, I would erase their name and put my name in there. Now, it was typical for me to do crap like that, right? As a kid. That's the kind of kid I was. But then one day, I was at Chagall's studio in Paris, because as a kid, my dad took a group of university students to Paris, to France, to study a semester abroad, right? And so we were in Chagall's studio, and underneath glass, I saw this drawing of a nose, you know, and it was a lot better than this nose, right? But the point was, I looked at that nose and said, oh, I get how they do this. It's just dark spaces and white spaces. And suddenly I was like, I know I can do that. And so then I came home that day and I did start drawing. And I've been doing portraits ever since. And when I was a kid, I did think I wanted to be a professional artist. And I was overly confident in myself, okay, as a kid. And then, but there was other things I was interested in. I wasn't just interested in art. And so because of that, I ended up doing something else. I also did not want to get an art degree. I was really super interested in philosophy. So I got a philosophy degree. So I really didn't like focus on art in a serious way. And even my philosophy stuff, when I found out that, because I was thinking about trying to become a professor, you know, because that's what my dad was. And so I thought maybe I should become a professor. But then my Fred Bender, this philosophy professor, who really did me a favor, he said, if you get your undergraduate degree in philosophy, do us all a favor and don't go and get your doctorate in philosophy, because it just makes you super boring as a as an academic. And then furthermore, he said, do not go to grad school unless the university pays for you to go on some type of scholarship, right? And I thought that was the best advice, and I followed it, and I did not go and get a master's in philosophy. I did apply, but I didn't apply with any real serious intention of doing it, because that guy's words really stuck in my head. Do not go and get a um, undergraduate degree in philosophy and then get a master's in it. It just makes you boring. Either get a master's in something different, or don't start off with a master's with a undergraduate degree in philosophy. Instead, start off with something like medicine or law or science, and then get a philosophy degree. It makes you way more interesting as a philosopher. And I thought, oh, that is so, I am so glad he said that. I am not going to waste my time. And since then, I noticed, I really never read another philosophy book once I got my degree in it. I actually lost interest in it, became more interested in math, because math is real and philosophy is just people flapping their jaws. Speaking of which, I'm going to stop flapping my jaw and I'm done. Have a good day. Thank you for your compliments. It's so nice to hear nice things about my art. And the trollers, hey, the trollers, to all the trollers out there, I'm just doing a hobby here, so you can save your criticisms and your nasty comments. All right, guys, keep doing art. Love you. Bye.